Hey everyone, welcome to the Roto Grinders Morning Grind podcast. I'm your host, Stevie TPFL. I'm joined today by the Siege. CJ, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, buddy. Let's start off with, let's be clear. I didn't postpone the podcast because I was hungover. We had previously agreed to not record the podcast on Wednesday because of all the injuries and we were going out to the game. It had nothing to do with alcohol consumed levels. I want that
No,
clear because it was not very clear from Twitter.
yeah, because you only get 140 characters on Twitter, so I couldn't say all that. That's how I was going to start the podcast as well. We went out to a Magic game last night. You're in town in Orlando. Cameron from Roto Grinders is in town. Just a couple other guys from RG in town, and it's just with football this week, it's so important to pay attention to news. No Thursday game. It was the smarter move to move it back, and you guys, the listeners, will definitely appreciate the content coming on a Thursday night. Me and CJ all of our articles are done. We're fully researched, and it's a big difference now. Pushing it back an extra 24 hours.
Yeah, I absolutely was the right decision, and it's gonna be a good podcast. I think there's definitely a huge amount of edge to be had this week, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really pumped about the football slate this week. I'm pumped that we don't have to worry about Thursday night football. I'm pumped that we don't have to worry about Monday night football. We have every single football game on Sunday. As we get going here, we're going to have some short analysis for some games because there's like 3, 4, maybe 5 games on this slate that are just super juicy, and there's games that are just Houston at Tennessee. Honestly, that's just there's games like that, and we have New Orleans at Atlanta, 56 total, 40 total. You know what I mean? It's just going to be one of those things. But I have all the playoff scenarios in front of me. So as we're going here, we'll talk about teams that are playing for something, that are not playing for something. And we're going to start here, Week 17 podcast with Dallas at Philadelphia. We'll start with the Dallas side here. They're not playing for anything. They're locked in. They're locked into home field advantage. I would be shocked if we see the starters in the second half of this game.
I'd be shocked if we see the starters past the first 2 drives.
So what we're saying here is stay away from the Dallas Stars.
Right? I think Philly defense is one of the sneakier defenses on the board.
They're a team that has, big-time scoring potential. I could definitely get behind that.
Philly D at home this year has been really good. We talked about them a few weeks ago when they played the Giants. Even though Odell Beckham did something, Philly D was quite good. I think this is a good spot against Mark Sanchez. If people knew Mark Sanchez was playing 3/4 of the game, Philly would be the chalk, and they'll be very long.
Yeah, because there's been talks that Tony Romo's just not going to get playing time. They're trying to keep him healthy, I guess. But either way, it's just I'm staying away from Zeke. I'm staying away from Dak. I'm staying away from Dez. If these guys burn me on Week 17, they burn me. I'm not going there.
Yeah, nor should you. It's a clear fade.
And then on the Philly side, I like the defensive call. We know that the running back situation is really Barner's out on the IR, Matthews on the IR, Smallwood on the IR. Darren Sproles is going to get a lot of touches, and they could get Byron Marshall some touches here as well.
I actually like Byron Marshall as a deep sleeper. I don't think they're going to get Sproles as many carries as people think they're going to give him. And I really think he's a deep tournament sleeper. He'll definitely be a 5% guy in my script because he's super talented out of Oregon. So that's a guy I like a bit here.
Yeah, they signed him off the practice squad last week. So he's going to get touches. He's going to get touches. Like you said, they're going to get him touches. Are we touching anybody else from Philly outside the defense?
No, I don't think so. You mentioned practice squad. I think that's we should start this off early. Practice squad promotions on Friday, Saturday are really important. So we don't have that, but it's keep your eye out on that. That's the big piece of news we don't have. But again, if you're trying to wonder, is the number 2 or 3 wide receiver going to play? See if they call up a wide receiver, practice wide receiver. If they don't, he'll probably play. If they do, he probably won't.
Oh, let's move on. We have Baltimore at Cincinnati. This game has absolutely zero meaning. Doesn't Eifert on the IR, AJ Green not going to play, Jeremy Hill's banged up. I'd be shocked if he played. He didn't practice on Thursday. Anything from Cincinnati here?
No.
What could I interest you in any Burkhead? Min salary running back.
Hill would have to be out.
Okay, so if we get the news that Hill's out, Burkhead min salary, what, 5% of the script?
No, actually, he'd probably be higher on PPR sites, 3,500. He'd probably be very heavily owned for me.
And that's only if we get news that Jeremy Hill's out. I don't think he plays, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to touch the passing game here. If I'm playing anybody, it'd probably be LaFell, but honestly, I'm not probably going to go there. What's your thoughts on LaFell?
I'm not going to go there.
Don't like Dalton. It's just I actually think Baltimore defense is in play here. Anything from Baltimore side outside the defense?
I'm playing 89% Steve Smith.
Last game of his career, right?
Yeah, he's going to get like a bajillion targets.
I didn't even think about that. I was working on my rankings a little while ago, and I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I ranked him on one site, not the other, but when I fix on he'll be ranked on both. 40 like one of the best guys in like NFL. Like no one's ever said anything negative about the guy. He's 4,900. Like I literally am gonna play. If I don't play a ton of volume, which probably might happen with New Year's Eve and all that, I might just play 89% Steve Smith and make sure that exactly happens, and then I'll feel good about it.
So I missed this earlier, but back to the Dallas game. Sanchez is expected to get majority of snaps. Just so you guys know, don't play those guys. Don't play those guys.
Philly D.
Anything besides Steve Smith?
No.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, like I pretty much told you guys, we're gonna cruise through some of these games. Chicago at Minnesota. Alshon Jeffrey questionable with illness. Adrian Peterson probably won't play. We probably won't see Diggs in this game as well. He didn't practice Wednesday. Didn't see anything on Thursday. Anything on the Chicago side here?
I don't mind Howard. I think he's a decent option. Minnesota's been getting torched by running backs lately, but it'd be a tournament option.
Yeah, they could.
I say a tournament option like I'm playing cash games in week 17. I guess I will, but I don't think it's worth. Like most guys, if you're playing week 17, guys, just play tournaments. Do yourself a favor.
If you're playing cash games, you're playing guys from New Orleans, Green Bay,
Detroit.
Those games.
Yeah.
You're not touching these 1:00 games. Like if you're playing,
I would touch Steve Smith in cash.
Oh, and we'll get to another guy at 1:00. But a lot of the cash game plays are in the 4:00 later games. They did a good job with scheduling these games this week. So,
the NFL fixed that a couple years ago, and now it's a fun week too. New Year's Day, as you're hungover, you get the better football when you're a little more awake. So that's gonna be perfect.
I can play Meredith on DraftKings PPR site, but your face pretty much says it all there. I like the Howard call. Anything on the Minnesota side?
Thielen on DraftKings is probably too cheap still.
And, just so you guys know, Sam Bradford's going to play this game. He has a clause in his contract where he has to play 90% of the snaps or more to get a bonus. So he's at 91% for missing the first game of the season. So Bradford's playing today or this weekend, just so you guys know.
Yeah, don't hate him if you wanted to play the Thielen stack with Bradford. But, yeah, probably not.
Don't mind Thielen. Not touching the running game. I'm not touching Kyle Rudolph. That's it for me.
All right, let's move on.
Houston at Tennessee. This game means absolutely zero, nothing, nada. Houston's locked in. They don't have anything to play for this weekend. The one thing that I don't mind here is Tom Savage in tournaments. I think Lamar Miller sits in this game. I do not think he plays. I think they give him a rest one more week, and I think they continue to let Savage try to work into this offense and let him air the ball out against one of the worst pass defenses in the league.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'll have it just based on how foolishly I had too much I had last week, but I'm not feeling good about it. I don't think DeMarco Murray is going to play a lot this week. He's got some incentives in his contracts coming up, like 1,500 rushing yards, 15 TDs. I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Derrick Henry here. He's overpriced, so no one's going to roster him without any sort of guarantees. He's a low-owned guy that I want because if he gets the carries, he could go put up a 30-burger.
Sure, I can definitely get behind that. If we get news that Lamar Miller sits, I don't mind Alfred Blue on the cheap. Definitely going to have some exposure to Will Fuller this week, just because it's week 17. We have to, right, Siege?
Yeah, Will Fuller, baby.
I'm telling you, I feel like, okay, so like In what sense does Houston not let the ball air out in this game?
I'm going to bring up that logic back in another game, and I agree with you. I think he will air it out.
All right. Nothing on the Tennessee side for me outside of your call there with Henry. This is the perfect week to see what your rookie running back has.
Yeah. Right? And you have to pay DeMarco a lot of money in the offseason if you want to keep him. Like, wouldn't you like to get some game film on Henry? It's going to rain. I think it's definitely a good scenario for Derrick Henry.
Jacksonville at Indy. Andrew Luck questionable here. Was limited at practice. Indiana. The Colts are not playing for anything in this game. Them and the Jags are both out. Jags probably going to tank this game to keep their draft pick where it's at. I don't see anything in this game. Absolutely nothing.
I said that, right? I did the premium show with Killa B. Killa B was all about this game. I mean, like, I would say something negative, and he was just really, he thinks that Chuck Pagano is playing for his job, and that the Colts are going to air it out to try to win and keep his job. Boy, I don't see it, but I think it's really easy to game stack this game. It's Allen Robinson, T.Y. Hilton, and pick one of the quarterbacks. So I think I will have some exposure to that just because it's a simple stack. Marquise Lee on the injury report. We know that guy is awful anytime he's dealing with any sort of injury. So it's a kind of a funnel spot to Allen Robinson. So that's kind of my take from this game.
Yeah, I don't see them. I don't see Lee being on the field this weekend. I would be shocked if he plays. I'd be shocked if we see Chris Ivory. I want to stay away from this game, but I guess you make valid points. If we get news that Luck is sitting, though, like this is a 1 o'clock game. We get news at 11:30 when the inactives come out and Luck is out. We just stay completely away from this game, right?
I would play some Allen Robinson, still too cheap.
All right. That's it, right? If we get news that Ivory's out and Robinson plays, could you play him at min salary on FanDuel? Indy run defense is awful.
Sure. They'd have to not call someone up from the practice squad.
Yeah, and TJ Yeldon is on the IR. If you guys,
and I say that, and I see that he actually they gave Corey Grant a bunch of carries and he did okay. So yeah, no,
stay away.
Maybe. Yeah, feels like a stay away.
All right, we have a min salary running back that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes anyway. So New England at Miami. Miami wins this game and Kansas City loses. Miami would get the 5 spot and they wouldn't have to play Pittsburgh. There's a lot of ifs there. Patriots need to win, and Oakland, or if they win, they get the bye, first round bye. You think both teams send out their teams here?
Yeah, Patriots playing for home field throughout here. I think we're going to see both teams A teams here. That will probably not be with Malcolm Mitchell, though. I think Malcolm Mitchell sits here. Michael Floyd takes over that role. 3,500. He would have to be a option 1A in tournaments for me.
Yeah, cash game wise, I think you could play Edelman in cash here. Any type of must-win game, he's going to get his targets. Miami secondary, not the greatest in the world. On the Miami side, like I worry about this injury for Jay Ajayi. They say it's nothing, but if you watch that game, man, right when he hit the ground, he could not get up.
Yeah, I think this game is a pure stay away from the Miami side. I don't even hate Pats D.
Yeah, I like the Pats D too, even in Miami. There's been news circling like the inner Florida news. They want to get Drake more involved in the offense. So we get news Jay Ajayi is going to be limited snaps. You could play Cameron Drake or Kenyon Drake on a few tournament teams here, but I'm not going out of my way.
Right. Sounds good.
Cleveland at Pittsburgh. We'll sum up Cleveland really easy, right?
Terrell Pryor.
I don't even like Pryor here.
I'm playing Pryor. Number 1 wide receivers against Pittsburgh. In.
Is RG3 he's gonna play, right?
He's 4,200. His ceiling is like 30. I'm playing him.
I wanted RG3 to sit. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I even how far like even what if RG3 just plays a quarter and then they throw in Kessler? Like I'm just gonna play Terrell Pryor because the price. There's no incentive for them to play RG3 the whole game. None.
So I have a question for you. We're at week 17. Me and you talk about our player pools every week. Is your player pool going to be a little bit more wider this week because of all this stuff?
Yeah, you'll see a lot of. I don't think I'll be heavy on. It'll be a lot of guys at 20%, 30% kind of thing. Like the guys I'm heavy on are the guys, and then all the supporting plays will probably be lower owned bits and pieces because the core is really simple and it's basically the same guys everyone's playing. So,
yeah, okay, I could prior on a few tournament teams, sure. Like, I guess. What are we doing with the Steelers here? We know that Ben, Brown, Bell, Green, Pouncey, the line, like they're sitting everybody. Let's just be honest.
Yep.
With that news, we have Toussaint and we have D'Angelo Williams. They're both min salary on FanDuel. I don't know what they are in DK. There's been news that Toussaint's going to start, and they're going to kind of split carries throughout the game. You would expect them to run the ball a lot. It's Cleveland. What are we doing here?
I don't think I need to play them. Like they're going to be super chalky. They're going to split the work. Like I think this is an easy stay away. Like right now, right? They look like the best options because we don't have all the information. But come Sunday, I think people are going to be married to the idea of these guys, and I don't think they're going to be the best options anymore. So for me, I think I'm going to completely fade this situation.
If you're playing cash games on week 17 on FanDuel, I feel like you have to play one of these two guys. It
sounds like that, but Stevie. Like right now, I would agree with that statement. But come Sunday morning, let's find out. Let's say DeMarco Murray's out, and we get other information. Zeke's gonna play one series. You're gonna get a ton of information between now and then, right? And every tout is sitting here doing a podcast talking about the situation. The ownership is going to be so high on this split backfield compared to what I don't know what the situation will be that will open up. It could be that Sproles gets inactive and we get to play what's his
Marshall.
face? Yeah. Like there's just so many options. It's like this is like basically preseason. You can't get married to the best plays on Thursday. The best plays you're gonna find out Sunday morning when you're hungover as shit.
Oh man, Sunday morning is when you're going to be building almost all your lineups this week, and it's going to be so much fun to do it on Sunday morning. Let me tell you,
the 1:00 game nap. Like I know the Pats play, but lock city nap from like 1:15 to 3:15.
Oh, it's a complete lock, and I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm right there with you. Like the lock of the century is sleeping until the 4:30 games start. It's just that's happening.
You can't cut it too close though because you'll get some injury news. But yeah, basically, as late as you can push it, right?
Yeah, late as you can push it for sure. Any of the passing game options here for Pittsburgh?
No. Cleveland defense is not the most insane thing I've ever heard. It is still Landry Jones.
It is still Landry Jones. No, man. I could throw a couple tournament lineups with Eli Rogers.
The Browns are 2,100 against Eli Rogers or against Landry Jones.
I'm saying though, like, what's your thoughts on Eli Rogers? Sammy Coates?
No,
he's
I'm
hurt
not
too.
playing Eli Rogers. He just sucks. Just sucks.
I'm gonna have some.
I can play so many guys that suck this week. I don't have to play ones that have burned me before. I have all these new people that I've never heard of that haven't burned me yet that I can enjoy.
Oh man. The Sunday night podcast for Monday's NBA slate is going to be the most tilting podcast ever. All these guys.
You just prevent that by just playing like the script in the $4 and just chilling out. You don't play huge volume week 17.
Oh yes. Buffalo, New York Jets.
Cricket.
It's just because this is the hardest game of the weekend to project as far as everything goes. Kerry Robertson on the IR. Matt Forte doubtful. Powell hasn't practiced this week. Brandon Wilds had a hamstring injury. He missed practice on Thursday.
Kerry Robinson on IR.
Yeah, you want to attack Buffalo on the ground. Like their run defense has allowed a 200-yard rusher in 2 of the last 3 games.
The guy who start might not be in the player pool on DraftKings.
Yeah,
that's serious. It might be Burks.
Oh man.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster.
Like if we get news that Powell is good to go and he's going to play, he's the option here.
You're not going to get that news, Stevie. It's week 17.
But it's a 1:00 game. Hopefully, if we get any type of news, it's going to come there.
I think that. I wouldn't get my hopes up for getting to play a Jets running back against the Bills. I really wouldn't.
Brandon Marshall didn't practice Thursday. I would put him on the doubtful side. No reason for him to play. Robbie Anderson, hamstring injury, did not practice on Thursday. Bryce Petty on the IR. It's going to be Fitzpatrick. Buffalo.
How bad must Christian Hackenberg be, by the way?
Yeah, right.
How bad does he have to be?
Like if there's ever a spot to give a guy a start, like
boy, he must be that bad.
Or they just don't want to throw him out there with number 3 and 4 wide receivers.
Oh man, that's brutal. But yeah, I think this is basically a situation where you kind of just fade on the Jets side. On the Bills side, you play Gillislee if McCoy is out, and that's it.
Can we play EJ Manuel?
On FanDuel, where he's dead minimum, but I have another option that I would rather do. Is going to be my only contrarian hot take is the quarterback to be named later, and you will laugh at me, but I'm going to make my case anyways.
I probably won't laugh at you. It's week 17 NFL. We know the Jets defense is just awful. EJ Manuel, he's playing for a job, right? Like, that's the only reason I kind of like him this weekend. We get an awful Jets defense. He's playing for a job. Sammy Watkins is practicing. Like, I have a little interest in EJ Manuel this week. 5K on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think at 5K on FanDuel, he's perfectly playable.
DK, you just don't need to go there. That's it, right?
That's it for me.
All right. Carolina at Tampa Bay. Cam Newton questionable. Greg Olsen questionable. Jonathan Stewart questionable. What are we doing in this game? Like, Tampa has a 0.00001% chance to make the playoffs. They would need, let's see, I'll pull it up. Tampa win.
A tie is like one of the 7 things they need. They're done.
Well, it's not. It's actually not 7 things. It's 3 things. They need to win.
No, it's more than 3. It's like 5.
They need to win. Washington needs to tie, and Green Bay needs to lose.
No, it's more than that. They need a couple random results to win a strength of schedule tiebreaker too.
Oh, that's right. They need a Tennessee win, an Indy win, a Dallas win, and San Francisco win. My bad.
It's just not going to happen.
You still have to think they're going to play their starters.
Well, they could be dead though, right? Because they're playing at the 4:00 window, aren't they?
No, they play at 1:00. Jameis Winston.
I'm not playing these guys. Yes. Don't. No.
We've picked on Carolina for 16 weeks. Week 17, we're not stopping now, CJ. Cameron Brate out. Doug Martin out. Charles Sims out. Jacquizz Rodgers, lone man standing. Mike Evans, lone man standing.
It's not going to be that. It's going to be Peyton Barber and
I guess
Russell
they do have Barber.
It's going to be it's basically Mike Evans if you want to play someone.
And Jameis Winston, the stack.
No,
do it.
No, I'm playing Russell Wilson.
Oh, buddy. We're gonna definitely agree on that one. Anybody from Carolina? Tampa defense?
No.
Tampa defense?
Sure.
Tampa defense at home against Carolina?
I said sure.
All right. New York Giants at Washington. Washington needs to win this game. If they win this game and Green Bay and Detroit do not tie, they will make the playoffs. So they obviously have something to play for here. Giants have already come out and said they're going to play their starters. If you're in the same conference as
wait, what?
I've heard all week the Giants are starting their guys.
I heard Josh Johnson was starting. Hold on.
Ben McAdoo had a press conference Wednesday, and he said Eli and everybody's starting.
If that's the case, and again, you'll know if they're telling the truth by who they promote off the practice squad. If that's the truth, I want as much Sterling Shepard as I can possibly fit.
Okay.
Slots against the Redskins,
Oh, I'm with you. Okay, so here's my argument to why they want to play their starters, right? Like, the last thing you want to do if you're the Giants is let a team from your conference make the playoffs, right? Like, especially a Washington team that has the potential to put up a bunch of points. That would be the only argument, right?
They might play, but I don't know how long they're going to play.
I would really think it would depend on what the game does. If it stays close, I think they continue to play these guys.
It's possible.
And like you said, pay attention to the practice news on Friday and Saturday. If we get news where Josh Johnson's starting. But right now, from what I've heard, from what I've read, Eli's going to start in this game. What's your thoughts on Victor Cruz?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, God.
I've got like 19,000 guys that can play. I'm not playing Victor Cruz.
Min salary on FanDuel.
What does min salary mean this week, Stevie?
That's true. If they pull out Beckham,
if they pull out Beckham, you just play Sterling Shepard. Don't get cute.
Yeah, I like Shepard too. Redskins, we know this is a must-win game for them. Any interest here against the Giants' tough defense?
No.
I think you have to have some Kirk Cousins.
No.
We saw
the Russell Wilson.
All right, so you're playing 100% Russell Wilson.
And Drew Brees, and Matt Ryan, and Aaron Rodgers. And then I'm done. I'm at 4. We're done.
I don't mind the Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Jackson stack here. Outside of that,
you like plays from every game. Enough. Just because it's week 17 doesn't mean you don't get to start cutting people out of your player pool. Enough. No, you don't need Kirk Cousins.
And I'm definitely not playing Jordan Reed, just so you guys know. Active or not active. Anyway, let's move on. We have Arizona at LA. 2 games out of the playoff race. Doesn't sound like this game means anything, but I have a little thing here for you. David Johnson tied Barry Sanders' record of 15 straight games of 100-plus yards from scrimmage. He would be the first person to ever do it in the one single season, 16 straight. Is this the lock of the century for David Johnson to get 100-plus yards this weekend?
Yes.
Like, if you're paying up at running back, it's him, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page there. Definitely not playing Carson Palmer. I'm definitely not playing Larry Fitzgerald. It's David Johnson for me.
Yep.
And then nobody from LA.
Right.
Arizona defense definitely in play here.
Correct.
Look at that. See? We got through a game without me liking like 3 guys. I like 2.
Yeah. Great.
Kansas City at San Diego. Kansas City wins this game. Oakland loses. They will get a first-round bye, so they actually do have something to play for here this weekend. San Diego was out a long time ago. We'll start with Kansas City here. Travis Kelce. He's just too cheap on DK, right?
Spencer Ware, Travis Kelce, Kansas City defense.
Alex Smith?
Yeah, if I was adding another name, it would be him, but ugh.
Tyreek Hill has been burning this so much, too. God, that guy.
I'm not just fading him one. I only have to fade him one more week.
One more time, baby. One more time. And then we'll talk about fading in the playoffs.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I just remembered Kansas City's in the playoffs, so I'll have to fade him at least one more time. But that's all right.
If you're playing the Kansas City defense, you can always throw in Hill as a correlation. I don't hate that idea because you do get the double points if he returns a punt, and he's done that a few times this year.
I don't want to talk about Tyreek Hill. Let's move on.
San Diego, anybody?
No.
Come on, CJ. It's the lock of the century.
He's coming back another year.
No way.
He announced it only on Wednesday.
Did he really?
Yeah. Narrative Street's gone. Why do you think I'm on Kansas City defense?
Oh, man, I missed that news. I'm so mad now.
Yeah. Your obvious tight end play is gone.
Oh, I'm going to have so much Travis Kelce. I might lock button Travis Kelce.
Yeah, no Narrative Street.
Yeah.
No Narrative Street, boys. It's literally nobody. I guess you could game stack it if you think it's the last game in San Diego narrative, but man, I would rather just pass.
Damn you, Gates. Damn you.
Although I gotta be honest, he was probably gonna see like quadruple coverage because you know whose record he was gonna beat.
I know, but he was gonna get every single target in the red zone.
Maybe all the ones outside of it too.
Like, oh god, This is just okay. So, like, you remember early in the season how much we hated Travis Kelce? Over 100 yards in 6 of the last 7 games. Like, it's gone full circle. 5 of the last 6 games, but he's gone full circle for me. I'm all over Travis Kelce this week.
If I do it, that means you have to fade. Like, I literally have just picked the games he hasn't got. Like, you said he's 6 for 7. Guess the one time he didn't go for over 100 yards.
The time you played him,
you got it.
He still had a good game that game.
There's nothing I jinx Travis Kelce like.
So you're fading him, right?
No, we're probably gonna be all in.
You have to. It's just this is the spot. Like Travis Kelce's 5K on DK. It's just play him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oakland at Denver. Denver not playing for anything here. Oakland wins and they clinch the division and the first round bye. If they lose and Kansas City wins, then they lose that bye. If they win and New England loses, they get the first round bye plus home field throughout. Oakland's not winning this football game. Hate to tell you guys.
Oh, boy. So let's talk about it. Remember play I told you that I said you were going to laugh at me? Here we are. Why is no one going to play Matt McGloin?
Because he's playing against Denver.
But Denver has nothing to play for. They already put DeMarcus Ware on IR.
But if it was okay, so if this game was in Oakland, I could get behind it. But this game's in Denver.
Denver's just gonna no-show. If they just no-show, like every other team that dies is, what's the upside of Matt McGloin, Amari Cooper, or Crabtree if Denver no-shows?
So you make a few tournament teams with those stacks.
Right. That's exactly my case.
That's all I needed to hear. I don't hate that idea. Like, we're gonna see such high ownership on quarterbacks that we haven't even talked about yet. That like doing that, if he throws 2 or 3 touchdowns and you get 2 of those to your wide receiver, sure.
Yep.
At probably less than 5% owned. Not touching the running game in Oakland, right? Like Latavius Murray was super chalk last week. I was super high on him, and Jalen Richard and what was it, Washington?
Yeah.
Just got carries. It's just I'm not touching Oakland running backs here.
I agree with that.
And if I knew Latavius Murray was going to get 75% of the work against Denver's defense, I would do it. He had 3 touchdowns against them earlier this year. It's not Derek Carr. They can stack the box. I'm not going there.
Fair enough.
And Denver, they already came out and said that Simeon and Lynch are going to play this weekend. So have fun with that one, guys. I'm not going there.
Nope.
You like DT or Sanders here?
I like DT or Sanders. No.
All right, moving on. Seattle at San Francisco. Best game of the weekend. Russell Wilson to Doug Baldwin is the play, and it's not even close.
Nope. I agree. Like, just do it. Don't get fancy. Just do it.
Yeah, this is your cash game quarterback this week, folks. Or actually, probably Rodgers.
It's probably Rodgers, but if you wanted to play Russell Wilson, go for it. Like, look, we said we promised we would keep it under 5 minutes. Like, we made that pact that we would keep our Russell Wilson love for under 5 minutes. But like, he can get both bonuses in this spot. Like,
they struggle so much with mobile quarterbacks.
Oh my God!
Atlanta and Seattle play at the same time, so that first round bye is still up for grabs. And Atlanta doesn't have a cake opponent in New Orleans, who we know is going to go out and try to beat them. Like, this is such a Russell Wilson spot; it's not close.
No, I agree.
You could even get some Jimmy Graham shares in there. I don't hate that. Tyler Lockett, when he went down, Baldwin just got
all the work.
It was what, 19 targets? 19 targets last week. 19 targets.
That's a lot of targets for those of you doing the math at home.
We touch on the running game here. Rawls was back in practice full on Wednesday.
I think it's going to be a split carry situation, so I think I'm just going to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think they'll get some Alex Collins work. They're in the playoffs already. Like, they can move up in the playoffs, but they're already in, so they're not going to risk their running backs here.
I would agree with that assessment.
Seattle defense?
Yeah, always in play.
Anybody from San Francisco?
I can't do it.
I'm not touching it. Carlos Hyde on the IR. There's 3 running backs there. I'm not touching that situation. Good luck trying to figure out who's going to catch passes because I've given up on that. It's just you're not playing any of these guys, right?
Nope.
New Orleans at Atlanta. Oh, buddy.
Play everybody.
Oh, buddy. This game has the highest total on the weekend by, I think, 8 points. Right? Let me pull back up here. Oh, 9 points. My bad. Don't want to discount it. 9 points higher than the next highest total on the slate. Everybody, right? Like Julio said he's going to be better this week as far as health goes. If you're fading anyone, it's probably him. But then you look at his price and it's like,
no, you're not.
Man, I can play them at like the cheapest price we've seen. Everybody's in play here. One of my favorite plays from this game is Mark Ingram. He's 60 yards away from 100 yards rushing or 1,000 yards rushing. He said that would mean a lot to him this year. He outsnapped Hightower 3-1 last week. Finally, Ingram is such a good play here. I love this spot for him.
I do too.
Coleman, Freeman, like all these guys are in play. I'm not going to argue with anything you say here.
Good. I mean, I just think this is just one of those situations where you just play them all.
Matt Ryan, everybody. Let's move on, right?
I mean,
just
there's no analysis.
There's
no analysis to be done here. It's just play them all.
I would probably recommend getting a kicker from this game too. Like if you're playing on FanDuel, indoors, highest total. I would probably get my kicker from this game.
Sure.
Green Bay at Detroit. This game could have a lot less meaning if Washington loses.
Yeah, but they're playing for the division title, playing for the right to have a home game instead of a road game.
They're both playing their starters. This game was very, very high scoring earlier this season, if I remember correctly.
Green Bay got out to that huge lead, and then Detroit came roaring back. My interest level in this game just comes down to whether Theo plays. If Theo doesn't play, it's just all the Golden Tate on Detroit for me. And if Theo plays, it's all the Tate and all the Theo.
If Theo's out, Zenner is too cheap on DK. I think he's worth a shot in tournaments if Theo's out. I think he's, 3,200?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Just too cheap for him. 2 touchdowns last week. Probably won't get that again this week, let's be honest. But he's just too cheap. Did Theo come back to practice Thursday?
I don't know. I don't think he did.
I don't think we had news, right?
I don't know. I didn't look.
I know he missed practice Wednesday. Anyway, Jordy Nelson, and then you play Jordy Nelson again, and then if you can get him in on your third wide receiver spot, you play him one more time.
No, you have to play Doug Baldwin in the third wide receiver spot.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, maybe just 2 spots for Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, that's all I can do. I can only afford 2. Sorry.
If you're playing cash games this week, you better have Jordy Nelson and Doug Baldwin. That's all I'm saying. Build around that.
Or you can pick up my heads, the CJ Colt on all sites.
Any interest in Devontae Adams?
No, not really.
Big play type guy.
I do have some, but it's basically just as a Jordy hedge.
Any Montgomery?
No.
His price
well, that's not true.
What's his price on DK?
He's in this game. I'm playing him, but it's not my favorite play. I don't know what his price is. I don't really even care.
The only guy that I don't think I'm going to play from this game is Marvin Jones.
Fine. I'm not playing Stafford, I don't think, either.
I don't mind Stafford if you want to be on the other side of this game.
It's just like if Stafford reaches his ceiling, it's like everybody else in the game has gone off already, and I don't see it. But I'm not going to spend time arguing with it.
Yeah, and I do agree with you on Golden Tate. Probably one of my favorite plays from this game. On FanDuel, he's 5,700. There's a little green button next to his name. Just click that and thank us later.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man. That's it for the game-by-game breakdown. We did not submit questions to the users this week, so we do not have any Twitter questions. So all we have to do, you're up by 2. Last week of the season, we have a game to play.
All I have to do is get 1. Get 1, I lock you out. 2.
Oh, I guess we're going to do playoffs. We'll do playoff podcasts too. So
we are.
Oh,
we are. Oh, great.
You're locked into 3 days a week. Don't worry. Your Thursday slot's going to be basketball, hockey, football, NASCAR.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm cool with play. I'll play. I'm playing playoffs anyways, so
Yeah, I gotta listen. I lost so much to you this week. I need my redemption here.
Yeah, except last night you did a good job on the beer bets, so you made back a couple. So
Nicholas Batum, baby, again tonight. That dude went bonkers again.
It felt weird, like drawing dead to win tournaments before I could even get out of my freaking condo. It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
God, he went. I don't even know what he ended up with, but I think he went for over 50 tonight.
50 something. Yeah.
That's my boy.
Man, he's just on fire right now.
Yeah, 52. Whoo, buddy. Anyway,
he's no Kyrie Irving though.
Kyrie 62. But if you played them together. All right, so I'll let you lead off here. What you got?
So I assume you're using your veto on Russell Wilson, right?
Is he really not in the top 5?
Nope.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Damn it.
I will take.
There's no way. Just so you know, there was zero chance ever, lock of the century that you weren't getting Wilson.
Oh, I understand that. Devonta Freeman. How to get you use your veto on Wilson so I could get Freeman.
It's fine. Man, how is Freeman not a top 5 quarterback this week?
I didn't create the rules.
I know you didn't. I'm just saying. Then I'll take Matthew Stafford.
That's fine. That's the guy I was thinking about, but whatever.
All right, go ahead.
Doug Baldwin. This is over, friends. Over.
Congratulations on your winnings.
Thank you. Over. Calling my shot. I'm. Hopefully, it's not like a Kemba Walker tonight, but we'll see what happens.
Let's see who's going to get 100 yards receiving here. I'll go Adam Thielen.
Oh, it's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I need a quarterback. Oh God, I can.
We didn't talk about Chris Hogan, and no, at 3,900.
By no, I mean I don't want to.
Okay.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm taking Sam Bradford.
Hey, you know he's gonna play a lot of snaps.
Yeah. And we know the Bears secondary is not that good.
Bradford can sprain an ankle, and he's still going to be out there playing.
Yeah.
Because I think that clause is it's a lot of money for him to play 90%.
I think it's $8 million.
Yeah, Bradford.
It's like an amount of money that he's not missing out on. I promise you. That.
Yeah, I actually agree with you there. Nice little hedge life too. Thielen, Bradford. I'm going to go Mark Ingram at running back.
Yeah, that was the other guy I was going to choose between. You can't go wrong there. Really glad that I got a couple this week because I think this is one of the easiest weeks for the game we've had in a while.
Yeah, pricing is a little softer this week than normal, but sure. That's it, CJ. Our regular season is over, my friend.
Oh man, sounds good. And then we'll be back with the NBA podcast if you're listening to this on Thursday night. So doubleheader pods coming up.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, the Roto Grinders Morning Grind League, we have a 200-man podcast league posted for NFL. The 100-man filled so fast last week. You guys tweeted at us so much that I bumped it up to 200 this week. So head on over to the Roto Grinders Morning League. You
want to guess how many people are already in it?
65. I saw. I just pulled it up to make sure I remembered. But if you're not in the Morning Grind League, you can go back on my tweets or just tweet me and I'll send you the link. So that way you guys can get in. But get in. It's a lot of fun. It's actually a good payout this week. It only lets you do the top 20. So first place is going to turn $100 or $5 into $135. So nice little payday for whoever finishes first here.
Thanks guys for joining the league. I appreciate it.
That's going to do it here for the Week 17 edition of the Morning Grind podcast. Like CJ said, we'll be back to talk some basketball if you're listening to this before the basketball podcast. If not, hey, listen to the basketball podcast and good luck in your contest.